Here we go again with your horoscope forecast, Scorpio. It's June 2020. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. Let me animate the chart. You've gone through a rather intense period. A lot of Scorpios have been going through this rather complex up and down phase with their marital affairs, their relationships. Also because your ruling planet, one of them anyhow, Mars here, is in your fifth house with Neptune. That can make you feel a little bit unsure of what's going on in your relationships and also what's going on in terms of your creativity. Notice also the large number of retrograde planets. We're going to touch on these one by one. The moon here around the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th gets brighter and brighter until it makes its full moon contact here with retrograde Venus, your marital planet, the Sun, which is causing what we call combustion to Venus, and there's the full moon on the 6th. They're fully influencing Venus. So a lot of activity going on around your relationships. We notice here also that this is a finance sector, and we've got the South Node, which is your past karma point, moving into this area as well. So there's your relationships, your finance, all tied in. Here's the moon making contact with your personal planet, the ruler of Scorpio, along with Mars, Pluto, also retrograde right now. So this is empowering you. I'd have to say that even though the retrograde planets do call for a revision or a rethink about things, they nevertheless, if they're positive planets for you, as both Pluto and Jupiter are, give you a sense of strength, and they do empower you in many, many ways. Saturn's a different matter. Saturn is ruling your 3rd and 4th sector. So this has to do with your family affairs, your real estate. This is a 2.5-year cycle. This planet moving into retrogression shows us that you're probably having a rethink. We've talked about this before. We'll continue to talk about it over the next year or two. The moon is a good planet for you. It makes contact with your co-ruler, Mars, here in your 5th house. So you're really energized and creative there around the 12th, 13th, 14th of the month. Bit of a more low-key period as the moon transits the 6th house on the 15th. That can indicate a need to watch your expenditure, to settle old debts, clear the decks of any debt that you're going through, and also to look after your health, because the 6th house has to do with health affairs. Now, we talked a lot about the relationship side of your life. Here we see the contact of the moon with that disruptive Uranus in this 7th house on the 17th. That could really bring in completely unanticipated events, discussions, and that may actually come from your partner, left of field. There again, you're not over that, because when the moon transits that 8th house, as it just has done there on the 19th, it's going to make contact with Venus. Now, Venus is still retrograde, but around, I think, it's coming here 23rd, 24th, this planet, your marital planet, will move into its forward motion, and that's a good omen. Here we see the Sun, the karmic point, and the moon all combined, and then the ingress on the 21st into this 9th house with the retrograde Mercury. So all of these matters of intimacy are going to rest strongly on how you cope with this new moon in your 9th house. That's very, very important. It is a whole new perspective on life that's starting. It won't happen overnight, but it definitely is showing that you are changing your philosophy in many, many different respects. The way you deal with people, the way you deal with your work, the way you deal with money, the way you deal with your intimate relationships, the way you deal with yourself. There's one for work on the 24th, 25th. Bit of a hard aspect again to Uranus. There can be a slight shift in your schedule, but the transit of the 11th house on the 26th and 27th is very, very nice, and that shows us some better improvement in your financial circumstances. There's the direct movement of Venus at last, even though it's in the 8th house. That shows you just digging deeper into the relationship to understand your partner, understand yourself, and get that intimacy working a lot better for you. The 12th house, towards the end of the month, 28th and 29th, is a very low-key period for you. It may make you angry. I wonder whether the reason for your withdrawal has to do with this combative influence of Mars. That's only a 2-day transit. It then moves back into your sun sign on the last day of the month there, where we finish the month of June on, well, we get to the Mars issue next month. That's moving into the 6th house right on the last day of the month. You still have all of these retrograde planets. So it's a period of going back and analysing where you've been, where you are, where you're going. But all in all, I think this month is primarily focused on that shift of energy in the area of your philosophy and also the relationships. So take a look at what I've prepared for you at astrology.com.au. We've also got the weekly, daily, monthly and yearly readings there, so you can get a handle on where you are midway through 2020. I think we know all of the COVID thing is a dark cloud hanging over all of us, but we can't drown in that. We need to look forward, and I think if you do that, there are some great opportunities for you. Drop me a line here, subscribe, and don't forget, if you want a free reading, you can go to the site. There are free psychic readings, the oracles that we have there, dozens of them for you. If you'd like a more in-depth reading, I'm here at your service. Drop me a line. Stay safe, and I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.